Neverending Chain by Dragon Translator, Chapter 146. He did what? Hiccup turned. All of the teens and their dragons stared at him as they landed. The dragons all bowed to him. The teens used that moment to dismount. Hiccup's eyebrow lifted as Snot and the twins all turned to stare at Fishlegs. Fishlegs, noticing the others' regard, frowned. "What?" he asked. "You ask him," Snot stated. "You're the elder in training, after all." Hiccup blinked, exchanging a glance with Astrid. The request must be serious, or Snot believed there to be a high chance it would be rejected. There would only be one reason he would not insist on asking himself. Hookfang and the other bonded dragons snorted, shifting so they were standing beside their riders, or, as in Barf and Belch's case, standing with their riders between their heads.
"Alpha," Hookfang began, "we all wish to fly with you to Toothless's hatch nest."
Hiccup frowned. "But you all just became parents, and your hatchlings are still so small." "Yes, Alpha," Meatlug began, "but your trip is not forever, is it?"
"Well, no," Hiccup asked.
"Then our hatchlings," Barf began.
"We'll be fine, Alpha,"
Belch finished.
"But I don't know exactly how long we'll be gone. You'll miss so much."
"Alpha," Stormfly said, moving closer, "every dragon in a nest knows that there are times that they must be away from their hatchlings. We all know we have duties that we must tend to."
Hiccup turned to her. "What duty would require you to all fly with me on a trip that might take a month or more?" "Honor guard," Hookfang answered for Stormfly. "An alpha is supposed to have one when duty requires him to leave the nest. For your trips to the illusion scales, they were the ones asked for a small one, and as our allies and your mentors, we all agreed. Toothless's brother offered an invitation for as many as you wished to bring, Alpha. We all wish to accompany you and to provide you an honor guard, even our riders."
Toothless nudged Hiccup. "He is right, brother, and my father would expect you to arrive with such a guard." Hiccup looked to Astrid. She glanced around at their friends, and then looked back to Hiccup and nodded her head. Hiccup sighed before facing Spitfire.
"I know you wish to leave today, but if we are all going to go, we must have some things we must settle here before we can leave. I would not wish you to fly alone. Do you mind staying a bit longer?"
Spitfire smiled, though she kept her teeth in place. "Of course. There has been many seasons since the nest guards have seen my brother. Many have forgotten all about him. You'll need me to get past the outer guards without issue."
"You're just full of jests today, aren't you, dear sister?" Toothless grumbled.
Spitfire shook herself. "I have no idea what you are talking about, dear brother."
Toothless snorted. Hiccup swallowed his chuckle, though the rest of the cove did not. Toothless just began grumbling in the old tongue until Moondust trilled a soft sound and nuzzled against him.
Toothless instantly switched from something that sounded annoyed to cooing.
Hiccup began to chuckle. "So wrapped around your claw, brother."
Spitfire chortled. "How could I have ever disliked this human? He and I think alike." "We should get back to the village and get the others settled," Gita said, before Toothless tries to bury into the dirt and hide.
"Chief!"
Hiccup stared. Hiccup shared a startled glance with Astrid as her father's voice bellowed over the village, just as they all landed in the grass behind Hiccup's house. The humans got quickly dismounted, and both human and dragons raced around the house. Hiccup's eyes widened as Brynja stalked through the village, dragging one of the warriors from Hopeless behind him.
"What's this, then?"
Stoic asked, meeting the woodcutter in the plaza. Brynja threw the dishevelled warrior at Stoic's feet. Hiccup noted Beata did not seem too upset by the treatment his man was receiving. In fact, Beata looked as if he expected it. Hiccup also saw that Steinar did not seem alarmed either. Hiccup shared another glance with Astrid as their group made their way down to stand on the rise above the plaza.
"That," Brynja growled, pointing at the warrior now climbing to his feet, "fool tried to bribe me into dissolving the contract between Hiccup and Astrid. He did what?"
Hiccup felt surprised when he heard his own voice. This was not like the other times his alpha magic coated his words. This was deeper, vastly more vicious than those times. This promised death to the warrior, and the anger Hiccup felt sweeping through him did not seem it would abate unless the fool was dead. He saw his father and future father-in-law's eyes widened as they spun to face him. He saw Beata and Steinar stare as if they just walked upon something that unnerved them. The fool paled and stared. The fool paled and stared as if something was out of his worst nightmare had just visited him. Hiccup did not care about the others, but the fool's terror caused something within him to rejoice. The fool then looked away and seemed to gather more stupidity as he looked back and stood straighter. "You are a coward," the man stated. "You cannot be the man for such as her. You cannot handle slicing through the throat of a man, you old coward. I challenge you for her. I will kill you." Hiccup took great pleasure as the fool swallowed and stepped back when his whispered promise reached the man's ears. He took greater pleasure that the fool paled again when Toothless and the dragon standing with Hiccup roared, and that roar was answered by every dragon living in the nest, followed by the sound of wings as every dragon flew to the village.
"Son?" Stoic questioned. "She is my queen,"
Hiccup stated, his alpha magic still coating his words, with the same vicious promise of death to the fool. The dragons all landed, as they could find places around the plaza. Hiccup waited until they were settled and watching, before turning and walking down to the plaza, hand already reaching for his sayax.
"Draw your blade."
End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. I'm looking forward to this. Hiccup does not mess around when it comes to Astrid, and frankly, neither does she. And I love that Brynja did it in front of the whole village. You're like, oh, this is so fun. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye, my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.